All right, welcome back to the Beyond Kicks podcast with Same Old Seth and Winona Kicks. Today, there's a
Oh,
lot of stuff to cover, as always. And if you stay to the end, we do have a Q&A, which I think all came from you guys through our Instagram, which is pretty cool.
hmm
So excited to dive into some questions. But before we get into that, let's roll the intro. Sweet, sweet, sweet. Charlie, how was your week?
It's been good. It's
Yeah.
been good. It's been a little hectic, but it's been good. Just busy.
Yeah.
Busy week. A lot of shoe stuff. Just a lot of organizing. A lot of kind of spring cleaning and getting back in the groove of things. So
It's important. Yeah, I saw in your story today just a ton of stuff coming in. I saw those lamellos too. I
yeah,
was like, oh boy.
yep. I got the LaFrancis. So and
Those are
I don't have
interesting.
to do a lot of the stuff I got in. Shout out Champs. You guys are the goats. I got a bunch of stuff in from them. And they sent over some Puma MBO3s, but they also sent over those Puma LaFrances, which I am not a fan of at all. And I'm going to make a video talking about how I'm not a fan of them at all.
Yeah,
So that's the nice thing with Champs is like I'm not going to dog the shoe, but I'm going to give my honest thoughts on it. And there's
which is
no
good.
like with content, you got to have honest thoughts. Otherwise, you're just a propaganda machine. So I'm
Seriously.
excited for that video.
Especially if they're not paying or Puma's not paying. It's like, hey, if it's an ugly shoe, sorry. Sorry
Yeah,
about it.
even if it's pain, I mean,
Yeah,
you just have to take an objective approach to it,
true.
and you can't like give your personal thoughts on it. If they're not pain, then yeah, personal thoughts.
Sorry.
So
Personal thoughts all out there. No, I
yeah,
definitely feel that.
um,
There's been a lot of mid.
yeah, no. So got those. I got the new Bad Bunnies, first pair of Bad Bunnies, the Forums. So I'm
Yeah,
excited to wear those when the wear test is over. Materials insane on them, brown and white and a little pink accent in there, super nice.
those are cool.
What else did I get? Oh, I picked up a pair of the Futura SBs last night.
Mm. I'm assuming
Um,
resell.
Resell, yes.
Yeah,
I tried to hit retail. I was even kind of in their DMs glazing them a little bit, trying to get a pair, but
of course.
doesn't work.
It never hurts to try. It never
You
hurts.
gotta try, man. It didn't work. So I shelled out. I got a good deal. I paid $420 for them. So I think
It's not
they're up
bad, I
like
guess.
500 on Goat. So in
Yeah.
hand, dude. First time I've seen them. Could be a top 3 shoe of the year. I think the AE1's got the lockdown on the issue of the year so far.
Facts.
And then I think, personal opinion, I think like the Earls collection A6 is like 2 or 3, and then I think the Futura SBs are in there. I just they're very similar to the Born and Raised dunks that dropped last year that I'm a huge fan of.
Yeah.
And I rarely shell out $400-500 for a shoe now unless it's like a pure content piece.
Yeah.
So it's a lot of money. I
Which
liked them a lot though. I think they're worth it.
definitely makes sense. Yeah, dude, talking about like shoe of the year outside of the AE1, I would like really need to dive into like everything that's released this year because outside of that, like there hasn't been anything that's like really hit,
Mhm.
at least for me, where I'm like, oh, this is like easily a top contender. So
No, I agree. And
I
maybe
don't
we do a
know.
little mid-year breakdown here in a couple of weeks. I think
We
we've done
should.
that
I
in the
mean,
past. So,
yeah, it's coming up. So, I mean, we might as well kind of give at least
yeah.
predictions to see what else is coming. But yeah, outside of that, the Wolves game last night hurt my heart. I know you were there, right?
Yep, I was there.
Ugh.
I don't know. I mean, it felt like we were confident the whole game, but we got caught sleeping the whole game.
Yeah.
Like we can push them around and we can beat them, no question. But it just we got lazy, I think.
That's
And I'm
fair.
not like a basketball philosopher or anything, but
Same.
I played hoop
Far
and
from it.
stuff in middle school and high school and
Yeah.
play rec still. And yeah, it just I don't know. Like Kyrie and Luca are going to get their points, but we need to, like, they're gonna score regardless. Like, Kyrie might have an off night, but Luka's not, and
Mm-hmm.
we need Ant to score. And what really pissed me off about him was we lost by what, 2 points, 3
2,
points.
3. Yeah.
And there was one play that I kept telling my buddy that was at the game with me, shout out Ben. I was like, this is what's going to hurt us. And it happened in the Nuggets series when Jamal Murray, we had that quick turnover, and then Jamal Murray made that half-court shot, and it was like a 6-point swing right before halftime, and it went from an 8-point game to like a 15-point game. And this same thing kind of happened at halftime where Ant just drilled a 3. We were up by 2, and then last second, we got counting down, we get the ball, they turn it over, we get it back. And so we can get another 3-goal 6-point swing. And there's 5 seconds left, and Ant has the ball. He's coming off of just burying a 3. I'm like, okay, he's going to just try to bury another one. He passed it. And it was a bad pass, went out of bounds. And then they came down and drilled a 3, and they were up 1 at halftime. And I was like, if you're Anthony Edwards, you cannot pass the ball out of your hands with 5 seconds left on the clock.
That's fair.
Like, you can't. So
you just got to do it.
Just simple stuff like that. There was some bad turnovers. They out-rebounded us, which we can't have when we have the lineup that we have with Gobert and Naz Reid and Towns. So, I don't know. I think we'll get them still. I'm confident, but
I agree.
Yeah.
It was still a fun game to watch. I mean, dude, the last like 30 seconds, I was standing up the whole time, just pacing in the office. So I was like, okay. Like, but yeah, it was
a fun one to watch.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad you enjoyed it. Definitely. But
so yeah, that, and then nothing, selling sneakers. It's all my collection.
Yeah.
I got a just busy week has gotten in the way of things, but I got a piece basically. I got too many shoes and I'm running out of storage, and I think I'm gonna clean our garage out before I sell anything. But I want to get a list of, because family's like, how many pairs of shoes do you have? And I'm like, I don't know. So I want to get like a spreadsheet of everything I have and like see what it's valued at. Like, I don't know, just personal. And it's like, if I could get 15 grand for it, like keep some sentimental pairs and like just restart it and make a YouTube video out of it. Plus I want to do a YouTube collection video. So
definitely should.
Yeah, that's something I'm working on. That'll be a process, but
yeah, I'm in the same boat. I mean, we talked about it a few episodes ago, but I'm just trying to get rid of some stuff. LJ came by earlier to pick up a pair of shoes, and I just gave him like a few pairs of Wades that I was like, I posted some on ATATF, and no one even touched them. And I'm like, I'll probably put some up on eBay, but like outside of that, it's just a very obscure shoe to try and move. And when you have like 20 pairs, it's like, come on. And I know he's like a huge Wade guy, so I'm like, just take these, make some videos.
The Chinese basketball shoes, I like Wade's the most, for sure.
I agree, they're solid, and I'm probably going to keep like a few pairs. I was telling him this earlier because I was watching someone's, I don't know if it was YouTube or TikTok or what, but a review on like the Wade sneakers, and they were saying they're like really good for pickleball and stuff like that. And we just got a pickleball set. Haven't done it yet. Yeah, so I'm like, well, I'll just keep 2-3 pairs around, beat them up, and won't have to go out and buy shoes specifically for that. So it's kind of easy. But yeah, he came by earlier and picked up the Nina Chanel Abney 3s that I've had for the past few days, and that is a cool shoe, a really cool shoe. It's just my color. I love that shade of green, so I'm like, hey, if I can get it on a pair of shoes, kind of already goes with everything I got, why not? But quality's sick. The canvas on the base is nice and durable. The suede is solid. All the little details, the leather sock liner, like that's a very sick pair. And I think it is a women's shoe, but they're doing just like extended sizing, because I had like an 11 men's, I think, because it fit like a boat, dude, trying to get on foot shots. I was like
12.5 women's.
Yeah, I think so. So we'll see. But yeah, that trying on that shoe and doing on foot. I don't know why. It just fit a little bit wider up top, so they were like flopping all around on my feet. And I was like, this is
They
a
look like they have a because it's leather on the sock liner, isn't it?
yeah. So
So it's a thinner sock liner than a regular cloth. That's probably why. Which I like that a lot.
I do too. And it just looks like a sleeker Jordan 3 and as someone who has never owned a Jordan 3, this I mean just quality wise, colorway, everything about it. I'm like this if I'm going to get one, probably going to be these. So, we'll see when they release what the whole situation is, whether it's like an easy-ish pair to pick up or if no one wants it,
Mhm.
kind of like they did with the twos, where they're kind of still sitting in outlets, which is nuts to me. But yeah, time will tell. I don't even remember when they drop. I think it's like next month, but that was a cool
Mhm.
pair. A few one-off sneakers coming in the mail sometime soon that I'll do a review on, but yeah, outside of that, I have the worst luck with getting packages for some reason. So I've
Oh
gotten
boy.
pretty much everything I need. Not that I need, it's just like stuff I want that I'm like, cool. Once I get all this stuff, then I'll start kind of having fun. Because once you get the new gear in, you're obviously a little more excited to go out there and create. I could probably
Mhm.
go out and do it regardless, but I'm just waiting on this last
Yeah.
package. And it's like a MagSafe SD card reader for your iPhone 15 Pro where you can shoot ProRes log. Don't bog down your phone with all this hundreds of gigs of video data. So I'm just kind
Mhm.
of waiting for that one last piece, and it got delivered 2 days ago. Um, didn't get delivered to me, so I reached out
Oh,
to
okay. That's a
USPS,
bummer.
the office, and everything, and USPS was like, "Yeah, we delivered it to your mailbox." I'm like, "It's not in the mailbox," so I feel like that happened with something else I ordered recently too, and I don't remember what it was. Filed a complaint and everything, and then like 2 weeks later, it just randomly showed up on my doorstep. So I'm assuming they dropped it off at another box in the apartment complex. So I just have to wait, see
Mm.
who got it, and hopefully they drop it off. So kind of impatiently but patiently waiting for that. But yeah, I got all my fun
That's a
little
bummer.
clamps, suction cups, a new SD card, all that fun stuff. And now I'm just waiting. But I'm excited to get out there and just create something a little different, more vloggy, more fun with angles, telling stories,
Mhm.
venting about life. I don't know what it's going to be. It's like stuff I
Beyond
don't really want to
doing
write
it
a
on the
script for,
podcast.
you know? Yeah, exactly. I just kind of want to go out, have fun, and see what my mind can create. But so
Mhm.
we'll see. Hopefully, in the next few days, I get it. But if not, I guess I'll have to order another and figure all that out. But outside of that, my legs are killing me because I'm an idiot and I decided to go on a run for the first time in forever yesterday. So now I'm like, but I will say it was my first time running in the like Invincible Run threes, which is a running shoe. So of course, like you're supposed to run in them, but I just kind of wore them casually from time to time. But super comfortable, great running shoe. Really enjoyed them. But
Good testament.
yeah, exactly. So trying to get into some just different running shoes and maybe film some content around that too, like vlogging the runs and getting cool angles or something. I don't know, but it's one of the
Mhm.
ideas. Um, I also went to the mall like 2 days ago, which I used to go to the mall all the time and shoot the hey, here's everything sitting at the mall type videos, which I really
I
enjoyed
like those
because
videos.
yeah, like they're fun and you get to see what sort of inventory is sitting in different cities because obviously not everyone that follows me is from Atlanta and every mall is kind of
Yep.
different. So it was cool. And coming from a retail background, I'm always like, ooh, what we got? What we got? So kind of
Mhm.
want to bring those videos back too because I wasn't expecting it, but there was so much heat sitting on the shelves. Like every store
Oh yeah.
had multiple pairs of Jordans, obviously, like lows, highs, everything. They had dunks. They had tons of like Saucony, like really dope Saucony pairs, Asics, New Balance, anything you could think of. So I'm like, why not? Let's bring that back sometime soon. But ton of cool stuff. Ton of cool stuff. And I guess sort of an announcement. I'm waiting for the plane tickets to be booked, but I will be in SneakerCon LA with Charlie.
Ooh, ooh.
So hopefully we'll
I plan to be there as well.
knock out a live podcast for you guys, which should be super fun.
Hell yeah. Never been done before. We're 67 episodes in and we've never done a live.
Isn't that crazy?
Absolutely ridiculous.
I would love to. So hopefully everything gets worked out. They're flying me and Anna out. Anna's going to be my filmer for the weekend. So should be fun.
The content you make there.
Same. I just kind of toying around with different ideas with that too. Probably make a few just one-off videos, see like what pairs are cool at SneakerCon. Obviously ask people, what's the worst shoe of all time? And like really creative content like that and just gauge the audience.
I'm pushing you to do something better than that. Don't do interviews.
No. Dude, how funny would that be? I just show up and do the same content that everyone else does. It's like, okay.
There's a reason I stopped posting content at SneakerCon. It was, partly because things changed, but
yeah,
it just, if you're there at every single show, it's hard to come up with something new because everyone else is trying to do something as well.
Definitely. So, which I get, but at the end of the day,
perspective, I like it.
Yeah, when it was like in its heyday, even then there was still like 2 to 3 different styles of videos that everyone would create, and it's like, okay, let's
roughly
be a little more creative with it, like make it more personable. I don't know, man, but trying to think if there's anything else new this week that I need to announce or discuss.
To cover.
Yeah, there is. So we can just dive into that, and then at the end we'll kind of dive into some Q&A, which I'm kind of excited for. I breezed through it briefly on the Instagram, so we'll see.
I haven't even looked at it yet.
There was a decent amount of responses, so if you sent one in, Thank you. We'll have to do this more often because I think it's fun.
Let's rip through the news, and then we'll get to that.
Let's do it. All right. What we got first?
Starting it off hot. J Balvin got some people. So there was a release. So this whole J Balvin 3 drop on the new black colorway of the 3s has been a nightmare. They did this early access thing where and I've been following this through Soul Savvy because they've been leaving updates and stuff. And so J Balvin was sending out emails to people that were on the email list. If you spend $100, you'll get an early access link.
Love that.
So people were spending $100. If you didn't get the email and you spent $100, you don't get the early access. So it's already weird. And with that early access email, you got a discount code. And so the discount codes were name sensitive. So if my name, Charlie, was on the email list, it would be Charlie24 @ or that's like, I think there was one like Adam24 with the @ symbol was like typically what the codes were. So there was a bunch of these. And then with groups and stuff, there was like Soul Savvy tossed a code in there and it was like one guy's name and then everyone tried it and they canceled the orders and then some other name worked until the discount worked. But basically when you put in the coupon code, it took the price down from $25,000 to the retail price of $220 or $240. When you're embodying sneakers, you don't put in coupon codes. You just rip until you try to get through and get a pair. This guy spent $25,000 on a pair of shoes, and he got caught. So,
oh man,
funny.
I love this. I don't know. I just think it's hilarious. Do more stuff like this. Who cares? Let the people who want the shoes actually get them.
It's great publicity, and there's really no harm out of it because this dude's definitely just doing a chargeback on the credit card.
Absolutely. But yeah, no,
There you go.
and now it's gonna
Makes
be.
you look good because you're combating bots, but
That's a good point too. But now this sneaker is gonna forever be kind of like the $25,000 sneaker, at least in my
that's
head,
true.
where it's like, oh, okay.
But it will be for sure.
So that I loved that story. That when that broke the other day, I was like, finally, someone's doing something. Like,
Yeah.
just
I mean,
come on.
I don't know. I mean, there's not a lot of people that actually like bot anymore. Like it was way bigger a couple years ago. So
I don't know.
I don't know.
I mean, for specific pairs,
Really?
obviously, like Travis or whatever it may be,
Big stuff, I guess.
obviously, but J Balvin too, I guess, because his first Jordan 3, I feel like it was received fairly well and the resale was decent. I assume, like I haven't checked. I'm sure it was like $300-400. So if you're one of those people, you may have got, but luckily I am not.
It is what it is. All right, next one here. This is kind of cool. I'm seeing this for the first time. The Jordan 1 High Black and White, one of my favorite dailies. I wear my 85s quite a bit when I'm not doing a wear test, of course.
Yeah.
We're getting a patent leather version in spring of 25, so you get to wait 1 year for these.
Hip hip
These are
hooray.
kind of gross looking.
I just don't think patent leather is supposed to be on sneakers. It can be on like dress
I've never
shoes.
liked patent leather.
If I see it on anything, I'm just immediately like, no, I don't want that.
I don't know if there's any item in this world that patent leather looks good with. I'm thinking
Like,
of like designer
arguably
bags.
a Jordan
No.
11, but even then, I'm like, I'd prefer if it
Yeah,
didn't,
I guess.
you know?
I don't have any 11. I mean, I have some 11 lows, but I get creases so bad, bro.
I just don't understand the draw.
I
Like,
don't
you wear
either.
them 2-3 times, but yeah, 2025 release, but they just announced it the other day, so it made the list, and we had to share it with you guys. Of course.
There you go. Nothing to get too excited about.
Mm-mm.
Um, this is pretty cool though. This is probably my favorite retro Jordan 5 of all time, the
Ooh.
black metallics. We might have talked about this, but we're getting a new Jordan 5 black metallic in 2025, but it's going to be a reimagined. So we don't really know what it's going to look like. We've seen mock-ups that look basically like what a regular retro would look like, but Nike tends to get kind of crazy with the reimagined series.
So they actually
We'll see.
announced the edging on the overlays is going to have a reflective or 3M underlayer. So that's the only, I think, the only thing that's going to be reimagined about it. But according to a few different news sources, they're saying it'll just only have like reflective on all the little edges. So it's not going to be anything crazy, but it is kind of a unique twist on the pair, which I think is pretty cool. So why not?
Interesting.
Obviously, we'll know more
Yeah.
whenever the heck they actually drop. But
I hope when they reimagine these, they get rid of the giant bubbles near the ankle. I've never liked that on fives.
oh yeah, if it didn't have that, I'd be all for it. I'd
That's
be
why
all for
I
it
kept the Mom Near fives because they don't have that.
for sure. Like it's a great pair. I still like
Mhm.
those a lot.
Yeah. All right. So we made a clip about the Jordan 4 RMs. Talked about it on the podcast. Seth said that they were the best Jordan 4 he's ever seen.
Yep.
There's going to be an asterisk next to that. So first of all, I'm going to pull up the Nigel Sylvesters that we were looking at, and we're going to analyze them. All green upper, mini swoosh, the tongue. You get I think it says Bike Air by Jordan or something like that. I'm not
Oh yeah.
100%. Bike Air by Jordan. There's no weird tongue tag. Laces look good. Black outsole. It's a great looking shoe.
Yeah.
Back heel. Let's see if I can find the picture. There you go. And now we're getting images. We've gotten a few different colors of the GR releases, which is something I note because I remember talking about this when we were looking at this shoe, and I was like, how much you want to bet we'll never get a Bike Air version? Because that happened with the airships, and then they released a similar shoe, but not as cool. That seems to be what's happening with these.
Mm-hmm.
So, jump scare.
Jump scare.
Here are the oxidized green Jordan 4 RMs. And we might have to post another clip about how you're disappointed in them because the tongue they completely screwed up.
Yeah.
The laces they're not flat laces, they're round laces, which looks really bad in my opinion. The toe box, weird. And the heel is super thick.
Like, it just doesn't even look like the same shoe.
Here's your thoughts on it.
Yeah, no, exactly the same. Like, the tongue on the Bike Airs looks way more, I guess, premium than the other. Like, the other really does look like sort of more of a team Jordan. Like, oh, this is a discounted Jordan. You know, like it looks like $150 shoe. And that's not like the worst thing ever, but the fact that they changed it to like suede and leather on the overlays instead of just keeping it that beautiful nubuck that the Bike Airs had, that was sort of what upset me the most, let alone the midsole, making it instead of majority black, making it all one color, which I'm not the biggest fan of single color midsoles just because I think it needs something to sort of break up
the detail.
Yeah, like I don't know.
I mean, I'm not.
You got it.
I'm not totally against the outsole and midsole. I like the sail color.
Yeah.
The thing that was I couldn't say, but I knew something else was wrong was what you hit. It's the leather and suede on the toe box, and the other one was nubuck everywhere, which looks super premium.
It does,
and this one doesn't. And the round laces don't look premium, and the tongue looks very tacky.
Yeah,
and all that combines for not as good of a shoe.
Yeah, so. It breaks my heart, but I mean, like at the end of the day, like it's a similar shoe, but it's like not even close to being the same.
Bro, so, this side profile. So now we're looking at the black light colorway. Sail outsole with the sail toe cap, whatever you want to call it. Side profile looks pretty similar.
Yeah.
This angle looks so bad, dude. This is so bad. It's basically the two shoes. It's like a top down, but kind of like a mix between a side profile and a top down. It's like a corner angle, and the tongue looks so fat and ugly. And I'm talking about shoes, by the way. And and the heel looks really fat, and the leather and suede, like that combo does not look good on this toe box.
Yeah,
and
man.
the round laces, like, dude, these look gross.
Like they're way too thick. Which and dude, I'm just like,
and
why?
You know what's funny is when you go to like Walmart and you get like Walmart Jordan knockoffs, they're like really chunky looking, and they're not sleek and premium, and that's exactly what these look like.
I just don't,
which is just a shame.
Get it. And like looking back, I'm cycling through the tabs right now. Like just looking back at the Bike Airs, that toe box looks so good. Just like the angle of it, the way it's like shaped, looks very slimming. But then you look at these toe boxes and they just look super fat. Like the shape isn't that good.
The Bike Airs look so good. Like you look at that compared to this,
that's
just like a jump scare, bro. It's so
just
bad.
Breaks my heart. What we thought we were getting. We have Jordan 4s at home.
Too.
Jordan 4s at home. Like, oh man,
they look too thick, man. They look too thick. The thing, you know what? The best way to summarize it: the Bike Airs look like a Jordan 4 with the top cut off. The RMs that are releasing look like they tried to make an SB with Jordan 4 styling, like a super OG SB that's super thick.
100% spot on.
It doesn't even look like a Jordan 4. This is not a Jordan 4.
Man, and the amount of people in the comments saying, this is not a Jordan 4. Nike has said
I
nothing
know
about
it's
this being
you.
a Jordan 4.
Now
Like,
these new images, yes, I could say that, but this
like
past one, like this is a Jordan 4. You look at it and you're like, oh, that's a Jordan 4.
easy. But
This
like,
this is bad, bro. It just looks so bloated. I don't know.
I
It's a
don't
bummer.
even
Another great model to the dust.
I don't
It's a
even know what to
shame.
say about it. It just breaks my heart. Hopefully one day, like just switch up the colorway even of the Nigels. Like it doesn't have to be the green. I would prefer it to be the green, but just stick to that.
It's the colorway doesn't even matter. Honestly, it's the general design and makeup of the silhouette. Like it's nothing what it's like, and that's the bummer about it.
It hurts because it's like the best Jordan 4, but also the worst Jordan 4. It's like, oh no, I don't even know what to do.
It's a
So
shame, man. It's a shame.
we'll see.
Um,
Guess we'll see.
yeah. Hopefully, we get some sort of release of those. I doubt it though.
Yeah.
More Travis Lowe's.
Yes. Oh, I'm so
More-
excited.
More Travis 1 Lows. Set to release in 2025. So I guess Travis 1 Lows are just not over like we were supposed to be. Like we've been told that like 3 times that Travis 1 Lows are done.
Yeah.
We're getting the shy pink and the dark pony. They look like Neapolitan themed shoes.
Yeah.
I don't mind the colorways. It's just rinse and repeat, baby.
Yeah, I mean the tan one with the cream swoosh, white overlays, that one I do
Get
like.
rid of the pink laces.
Yeah, I would switch out those for just, honestly, white or whatever color the tongue is, which looks like it's probably white, but that one would be a good like dress up shoe. Those I think look pretty solid. The other is a women's release, but I think they're both women's release, right? But the one with the pink swoosh really isn't my favorite, but I don't know, man. What else can we say?
Nothing. It's
Just more Travis all the time.
damn
Stop
shame,
it,
man.
it's a damn shame. Stop it. Come on, just just
This is
scrap
a
it.
perfect segue into another Jumpman Jack colorway. These are the Thunders, and before I pulled the link up, I was like, "Oh, Thunders! It's going to be black and yellow."
No,
Nope, it's sail black, dark blue, and light blue.
I
And
think these are pretty cool.
middle blue.
I kind of wish the midsole was all cream and not the black. I feel like the black
Now
kind of
you
throws
like
it off.
colored midsole without sole.
Yeah, I know, but at least make like the base of it cream and like the overlay a different color. But I just think the black throws it off. And apparently the little symbol on the strap says TS, and I'm an idiot for not knowing that, but I still don't see it. So if anyone wants to explain this to me, I would love to hear it. But
I don't see that at all.
I've gotten so many comments with people being like, bro, obviously this says TS. Like, what? I'm like, I see a T,
Where, bro?
kinda.
There's like 5 different T's.
So I'm like, I don't get it. Maybe I don't know, man.
I don't see that at all.
I see an X. But yeah, on foot right here, these do look pretty solid though.
Worn by Michael Rubin.
Wow.
Not a fan of them. I don't like them. I'm
Yeah.
not on them.
Fair.
More Travis news. This is kind of funny. He gifted all his Jordan 1 Lows, the Elkins colorway, to the seniors at the high school that he graduated from. 661 seniors, 661 pairs. A few questions, not knowing any details on it. Did he know everyone's size? And secondly, the sales of this shoe jumped up on StockX right after this. There was like 400 pairs dumped on StockX.
Yeah.
And the only reason we know this is because the shoe has not released yet. And on StockX, it showed like this shoe's selling quickly. 440 pairs sold in the last day. Like So
I mean,
not all the students, but I don't blame them.
I don't either. Like when you're graduating and Travis Scott gives you a pair of shoes when you know they sell for a crazy amount and you don't care about shoes, yeah, I'd be
Yeah,
selling them
if you
too.
don't care at all, then I would dump them. But if I
Yeah,
was somebody that did care about shoes and I was in high school, which I really didn't when I was in high school, but I would try to get them signed by him. So then you get a little more meaning with it, and then
definitely.
you keep it. But
And like, I don't know.
yeah, I don't blame them.
It'd be
Dump
a
them.
little too sentimental for me to get rid of them. I'd be like, oh yeah, I went to the same high school as
Well, the
Travis
shoe's
Scott.
based off the high school too.
Exactly. So it's like, oh, like this is holds some sort of sentimental value. At least to me it would. So,
Mhm.
but also it'd
Which
be hard to not
interesting to
dump
note.
them.
Uh, this happened with the born and raised SB Dunks too. They were gifted to a bunch of I can't remember if it was high schoolers or what the deal was. And
Yeah.
then the only reason I remember this is because Kais Omar posted a video, and he bought a pair from Cool Kicks, and it had like a note in it from the high school like a week later. So people were dumping those pairs too when they were going for like $500-600. So
I don't blame
get gifted
people,
something with
man.
value, people will sell it.
Yeah. Especially if it's not your thing. Like not everyone
It's a cool
cares.
move though.
Yeah. I'd be into it if I was in
Yeah,
high
no,
school.
I like it.
Sign me up.
How many people did you graduate with in high school?
God, that's a good question. Probably 200, 300. Like it was very, very small. Grew up in a very small
Sheesh.
town. Yeah.
I was like, it was, I think it was like 604. We were like the largest class to ever go through.
Dang. And maybe mine was a little
Yep.
bit bigger, but it was not anything crazy.
Fair enough. I'll let you take it away on this one.
Yeah. We just finally got on foot images thanks to Yankee Kicks of their skateboards Nike SB Dunk Low. I think we've talked about this sneaker a few different times. I can't
Mhm.
remember if we've seen full images or not. I know we've seen a few different teasers.
No.
You have some sort of art depiction of people laying in all sort of wacky angles with their little
Naked
tentac-
people lace
tentacle
charms.
hands. Yeah. It's interesting. I don't think this is a pair that I'm really on fire about. I love the hairy suede, the graphics on the side panels. Like it's unique. Um, but yeah, I like the hang tags or the tongue tags. Got a unique
Mhm.
little Nike SB badge. But
Dude, if you took the black midsole and the black paneling and made it white, so it was a white and green colorway, kind of like a Celtics
it'd be
green,
sick.
that would be sweet. But this is kind of, I don't know, it's kind of like little goth, little
Yeah.
dark. I don't know, which it's very similar to like the neck face dunks, which I have a pair. I don't think I'll ever
Yeah.
wear them. Um, it's just not my personal style. I know a lot of people are into that. So if you are, then definitely check out this pair because it's cool. I like it. It's a unique design.
I
There's
like the
some cool
laces a
elements that we
lot.
haven't seen. I like the text of there and Nike on the back heel, the font
Yeah.
choice. So
Why not? We need more
yeah,
SBs this year because it's been okay. It's definitely
just
been okay.
Jordan 4 RMs, man. It could have been.
Coulda, woulda, coulda, shoulda.
It's a
And I mean,
shame.
even then,
It's a
we'll see.
shame.
We'll see when they release. I'm sure they'll be everywhere.
You were just talking about SBs. Nike SB is dropping a Problem Solver 8, aka the PS8, for the Paris Olympics.
I think these are cool. I don't know if this is my favorite colorway. I'm just not a big like safari print guy, but the
Mm-hmm.
tech in this shoe, I'm really excited to check them out. I think
They got in it.
I don't know. I need to do more research, but apparently it's like Nike's solution to skate shoes. So they've kind of
The fly plate.
yeah, like they've just added all the tech that a skate shoe should have. And like
Mm-hmm.
no brand does that for some reason. Like I mean, obviously they'll add like a few extra overlays or underlayers or something to help make the shoe last longer, but like outside of that, no one's really that I'm aware of innovating in the skateboard space. So this is just, I mean, it's cool. I really want to get a pair, skate them, see how they hold up. Mo asked me the other day if he should pick up this pair for like an early review. I said yes.
Yes.
So we'll see if it comes in or if he was able to snag a pair or not. But I'm excited to check them out. It's cool. It's cool.
I think initial thoughts, I like them. I'm not a skater at all, but I like that they're putting a bunch of tech in it. I like the super thin heel
Same.
line and heel cover that they have, but they also have cushioning back there. The toe looks very good. It looks like a premium shoe,
Yeah.
which is few and far between on models we get from Nike.
Seriously. It's like a skatable Air Max 1 if you're listening.
Yes.
Essentially.
Yes. And yeah, especially from that back heel look. But
Yeah.
the outsole is like semi-translucent, and it looks like a full carbon plate, like you would have in a basketball shoe. But on the outsole, it says fly plate. So Nike's new fly plate, I guess. I wish they would do this with golf shoes, like put a whole bunch of tech into them. I think a lot of golf shoes are just styling and the spikes, which is the connection to the ground when you have, but there's not like carbon plate. Like you're not jumping or anything in golf, but be curious if there's if there is any companies, let us know because I'm curious. But yeah, I'd
100%.
if you have the tech, try making a shoe that has a line with it. So
seriously,
seems like.
I'm excited to see different colorways later down the road because, like I said, it's not my favorite. And if you're listening, it's more of like a Safari Dunk sort of remake. It's actually almost identical to the Safari Dunks that I just reviewed, the Safari Olympic pair.
Very similar.
Blue laces, orange on the sock liner, Safari overlays. Nothing too crazy, but yeah, it's cool. Does it say anything about a release date? I didn't see anything, but probably one of those later this year.
July or August seems likely, but there's no info.
Cool. Well, I will be on the lookout.
And before we get to questions, we got a little early look, but I'm not seeing any.
I think they took the images down, but I wanted to add this because I saw the images. I don't know if you saw them.
I find the images.
And they were images that leaked a few months back, and it kind of had this. I don't know where the shoe is. Hold up. It looked very similar to the Harden Volume 8, like this colorway, the clay one, but it sort of had more of a Yeezy organic sort of like look to the side. So people were assuming like, hey, maybe this is the Harden Volume 9. But then someone the other day posted, ooh, that's not the photo I saw, but that's actually really sick too.
That's not the photo you saw? That's the photo I saw.
Interesting.
Okay. So what's interesting is, which makes me want to think that these are legit. I pulled up definitely watch the video feed on YouTube, or if you're on Spotify, I think you can watch it as well. Click on and watch this because you can see an image of it. But I pulled it up, House of Heat. They also have the tab with the photo, and then you click on it, and the link is not found. So House of Heat pulled it as well. So this makes me think that these images are real.
It wouldn't surprise me.
You need to pull these.
Yeah, so I think the Sneaker News article said there were quote-unquote leaked images of the Anthony Edwards AE2, but Adidas reached out requesting them to take down the photos because, let's see, is in fact not the upcoming
posted
AE2.
A tweet that says, this photo is circulating online as the first look of Anthony Edwards AE2. It is, in fact, not the upcoming AE2.
Interesting. So the one I saw said that it was like an unassembled or like not a final version of it. So it could be based on this, but, you know, they're still tweaking it and it's in the works. But I guess we'll wait and see. But it is in the works. So that's good to know.
And this wasn't on the list, but I do want to talk about it quick. The AE1 lows. He's been wearing the MX grays, Anthony Edwards has been for the last couple of games. He wore the Slimes last night.
Yep.
Kind of an interesting thing. I saw a TikTok of a kid that was talking about how Adidas is dropping the ball with the lows. So as of now, the lows are expected to drop in the fall. Well, the playoffs are done in about a month. So that would be past all the hype. I think Anthony Edwards is literally at the peak of media right now, especially if we go to the finals. And I know pairs are already made. Can't talk about it, but I know somebody closely at a pretty large company that there's pairs in hand. And I think the TikTok was talking about how they need to drop these, especially if they make the finals. So my early prediction is if the Wolves make the finals, I think Adidas will shock drop these, some lows of some sort. Because we haven't had an 81 though, or an 81 drop since the McDonald's game. So it's been a while, which is fine. The season's kind of wrapping up. I don't think they thought we'd go this far. But I think if they did a shock drop of some limited pairs and then said, hey, we're going to do a bigger release in the fall because you can't just make 200,000 pairs in a week, I think that's the way to go. So hopefully they drop a few pairs. Otherwise, yeah. What are you thinking on the lows? I know we all want them.
I mean, I didn't even think about that with like the hype kind of dying down, but yeah,
100%.
No, it makes sense.
If we win the finals and he wins finals MVP, 3 months after that, nobody's really going to give a shit, honestly. It'll be sick. Minnesota wins the championship. Huge news. Once the next season runs around, like, all right, new storyline. Like, who are the players that are going to make a difference this year? Like, yes, they'll still be big, but the hype dies down big time.
I definitely agree with them dropping the ball, though, because a low top, you want to wear it in summer. I think originally Adidas sent out the press email and it said they were supposed to release like around next month, like the end of next month. So I don't know if that's still the case. And especially with them already talking about the AE2s dropping later 2024 or early 25, it would kind of make sense for them to rely on the lows for the remaining 6 months, of the year. Half the year highs, half the year lows. Kind of just break it up like that.
And I hope they do.
I do too. I mean, it would make the most sense to me, but I'm not involved. So my opinion doesn't matter. But there are logistics and things they have to keep in mind too. So I guess we'll wait and see. But I'm excited for them.
Hopefully we get them.
I want them. But cool. You want to pull up some questions?
Yes. Yeah. Let me.
I'm pulling up some on my end too.
I'm gonna start. If you're looking at it, scroll all the way to the bottom, and we can just kind of work up through them, kind of go back and forth and comment on them if that works.
Yeah.
We should have gone through these. There's actually a lot. Shout out to you guys for submitting all these.
Right.
Common one we're getting: if we could collab with any brand on any model of shoe as the Beyond Kicks podcast, let's pose it as, which would we do and what company would we partner with? I'll let you answer first because I think we're going to have the same answer, but
I mean, as far as creativity goes,
brand,
realistically speaking, Saucony is probably the easiest to get into the door with.
And this is the hypothetical, not the actual. It's hypothetical.
If it was me, probably, realistically speaking, it'd be like Saucony on the pair that Minted New York did, because I think that's a really sick model and there's a lot of potential for it. Me personally, I would love to do New Balance because why not? Like, why not? Probably a 1906, something like that. But what would you think?
I think Saucony would be cool. I think, and this is me just putting it out there, Saucony is a possibility down the line, whether it's 1 year, 10 years.
Yeah.
Keep at it. I think the ultimate would be like a Jordan 1 or a Jordan 4 because it's so impossible that it will never happen that and who knows? But I
Yeah,
mean,
true.
I think a Jordan 4 collab would be insane.
Yeah, that'd be
So
mental. That would be mental. Um, I guess, and what would the color scheme look like? That's the next question. Obviously, it has to have some
black and
yellow.
yellow and white and
Yeah,
sail.
yeah. Black, yellow, white, sail. Easy.
Yep.
Easy. Next question. Let's see. It's the same question actually.
Mm-hmm.
Which Minnesota athlete has the best shoe game? Feel like that's a
No, that's an obvious one.
yeah. Um,
Anthony Edwards.
amen. Um, what is the best cleaning kit for shoes? What do you use? I'm curious.
Well, we're split on this. And we were just talking about this on FaceTime too. We have a predicament because Seth is very closely affiliated with Crep and I'm very closely affiliated with Rejuvenator. So um I'm gonna say Rejuvenator because that's the only ones I've used. Um and that's actually I started with Rejuvenator even way before I was affiliated with them. Right when I got into shoes and I was flipping them and just buying and restoring, I got a Rejuvenator kit with the brush, and you don't have to use the solution. I just use Dawn dish soap or whatever you have, um, and just use the brushes. So just the brushes itself, Rejuvenator. The rest of the stuff like the protective spray you can get from really any company, that it's all basically the same solution. But the brushes from Rejuvenator for me.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, I use Crep just because I have a relationship with
Mm-hmm.
them. I've got a ton of it laying around. I'm actually about to shoot another video for them for their leather
There
protector
you go.
conditioner stuff, but that's just kind of what I have. So it's what I've used. Before Crep, I was using Jason Mark a lot. They're not really
Never
around as
tried that.
much anymore, I don't think. Maybe they are, and I just haven't seen them. But
I know that they're in JD Sports, if I'm not
mm,
mistaken.
yeah, so, I mean, they're all good. It's just whatever I guess is the easiest for you to get. If you want to order it
Mm-hmm.
and that's easier for you, find a brand who has an aesthetic that you align with, or maybe cooler brushes or cooler color scheme. Go with that. Just whatever you're feeling. They all work.
Yeah, I think they're all super, super similar. It's like going to Walmart or Target. It's just kind of what brand you
Exactly.
align with more.
Um,
Um,
what you got?
are we gonna have any guests on soon? Loved the Elliot Page episode. We've talked about it. I think we've been focused on the video side of it with clips and YouTube. That scheduling guests and getting interview questions has probably gotten past us a little bit. Life just gets busy, and we sit down and record an episode a week, and that's that. I would like
Yeah.
to have some guests on. I know one at the top of my mind is my good buddy Curated Van,
Mm-hmm.
85 dealer. He sells to some of the biggest celebrities. I think it'd be cool to get Giancarlo Blazendary on because talk about everything he's doing. He's talked about how he wants to do it. I know you have some people at Adidas that we've talked about maybe getting on. Um, I think it's a good goal. Maybe do one a month or something.
It
I think it'd be
definitely,
fun.
we need to be better at it, but like you were saying, kind of the focus over the past, I guess, like 2 or 3 months or since Elliot has really been just kind of finding our
Mm-hmm.
voice in what we're doing with the podcast. And I feel like we're at a place now where we are a little more comfortable with the mic. The
Yep.
YouTube's running well. Like we're not having as many hiccups. There are still hiccups, but yeah, it's really just getting to a place where we're good. And also, like, for me personally, when I listen to a podcast, I don't like to be overwhelmed with guests on every single episode because if it's a guest that I'm not super familiar with,
Then
majority of the
it's just
time it'll, like deter me from listening to that episode, or I'll listen to a little
yeah,
bit
no,
and it's
it
like,
the episodes that are the podcasts that like one top of my head, Graham Stephan show. They have an episode on they have a person on every episode.
yeah,
And that's fine. And they do clips and they're a huge podcast, but then you're the guest podcast and you don't have a voice yourself. Where if you do a solo episode, people might not even tune in because you are known for having guests. And then it's like you have a big guest, you get a lot of people come in, don't have a guest. No. So we really appreciate everyone just listening to us banter about shoes for an hour once a week. With that being said, I think we've both built pretty cool relationships with a lot of people. So
yeah. It's one of those
Tap
things.
into it.
We definitely need to do more of like one or two a month, or maybe we'll just do like a bonus
Hmm.
episode of some sort. Maybe we can
Yeah, maybe do
do,
a 2 a week.
yeah, something like that. Start a Patreon, kind of build a Discord, have a whole
Maybe
community.
maybe LA episode. We try to get a couple of in-person ones pounded out in like a day or something in a hotel room.
That would be fun. Yeah, like
Like we line up a couple of different people.
the only thing with doing it once a month is I could go on, and so could you, of all the people we want to have on that we can feasibly have on. And it's like, oh wow. Yeah, we could go, I'm sure, a year. 52 episodes a year. We could do 52 episodes, boom, like that. All
Yeah.
guests.
And honestly, I mean, it depending on how the clips keep going and the growth keeps going, I mean, we've basically scaled back to one a week because we're like, this is the pace that we can go at and be consistent with it every single week. We were at 2 a week. We might have even done 3 a week at some point, but
Yeah.
we've scaled it back to one a week because we're like, we can do this every single week, get a couple of clips out and work up from there. So it's depending on how well the podcast keeps doing, that might get bumped up. So I don't see it anytime soon, but
Yeah.
it's in our minds for sure.
We can plan it up. That'll be fun though.
Let's do like two more and then we'll rip some questions next week too.
Cool. Let's trying to see if there's any that really stand out.
You can pick one and I'll pick one.
I mean, I guess I can answer this because I get this question all the time. How are you able to obtain a connection to get shoes before they drop? I feel like that's a decent one. So I shoot all of the content for a Discord group called Sneaker Knockers. Mo, the owner, has connections at Nike, different factories, whatever it may be, where he's able to source a lot of these pairs before they release. So he lives not too far from me. He drops them off. I shoot the videos and then I ship them out to whoever in the Discord either wants to buy them or another creator who wants to make content on them. So they're not my personal pairs, which is a blessing and a curse because if they were, I would have no space and I'd be living in a shoe warehouse. But yeah.
No, that's a good one. And for me, it's at one point I was buying some early pairs to do reviews, nothing crazy or anything.
Yeah.
It's an expensive game to get into, and now for me, it's seeding lists from companies that are actually dropping the shoes. And Champs has played a big part into that. But I mean, the whole game is connections at the end of the day. I mean, that's really what it is, regardless of following realistically.
Definitely. You want to do one more or two more? I'll do one more. Two.
Yeah, so let me find one here.
Okay.
Where'd it go? Does Jordan Brand need to rebrand for Gen Z and Gen Alpha? Yes and no. Jordan Brand is such a legacy brand at this point that they don't need to rebrand. They've built up a reputation. They're basically building off what they came out with 45 years ago, and that's fine. Same with Porsche. They've been building off the 911 model for 60, 70 years. Nothing crazy has changed. It's just upgraded with technology. Rolexes, same deal. You can go over all these legacy companies like that, and I think Jordan Brand's the same. They're the people that started the sneaker market, essentially. So I don't think they need to rebrand. I think that they need to evolve, like the Jordan 4 RM. Maybe we get a Jordan 1 RM. With that being said, they need to do it right, like we've talked about this whole episode. So if they do it right and they evolve on the original models like that and do fun colorways, and collabing's a big part of that with current people and trending people and not wearing it out like the Travis One Low, then yeah, I think that they're fine. But I think that they're not going to change the core of their brand a lot. And Jordan Brand's separate from Nike, so I don't think Jordan Brand is, but Nike will continue to evolve on the tech side. So what are your thoughts?
I mean, honestly, I second everything you said. That spot on. I think you're 100%. And the Porsche analogy was really good. I was like, okay. That makes sense.
I mean, yeah, it's the one car that has not drastically changed. Even like the Corvette it's been around forever, but there's been different models and designs of it. The
I
the 911 really hasn't. So
I do think they should, and they do this, but I just don't think they've ever done it well. Like experiment with more lifestyle models because people wear their sneakers as lifestyle sneakers. Not many people are hooping in Jordans. Majority of
I
people
agree.
are wearing Jordans just to wear Jordans. So like just
Yeah, no,
experiment
it's
more.
complete lifestyle. No, the tech's
Yeah.
too good.
Yeah. But they're coming out, obviously new basketball shoes all the time because that's the brand's core. But just have
Mhm.
fun with it. Just mess around. Something's going to stick.
If it doesn't, you just keep going.
Yeah. Last question for me. Are sneakers really dead? Or is it just hype that's dead? And listen, we all have 2 feet. We're never not going to wear sneakers. But I feel like people are
Hmm.
just kind of starting to sniff out the bullshit of brands dropping colorway after colorway after colorway of the same shoe and not innovating or putting much thought or effort into it. And I mean, at the end of the day, most people aren't buying 7 pairs, or maybe you are, of like Jordan 1s or Sambas or New Balance 550s. Typically, they buy one, and by the time that shoe is worn out, or seen
Normal
its
people.
life cycle. Yeah, or by the time it's seen its life cycle end, they kind of want to try something different. So maybe they're moving on to like
Hmm.
a Hoka, a New Balance, something else. Or they get a Dunk and the Dunk is cheap and it kind of puts a sour taste in their mouth. Like, this is not that good of a shoe. People kind of lose excitement. But I feel like for hype, it's kind of the same too. It's just rinse and repeat, and people kind of get tired
Hmm.
of chasing after sneakers that are, in my opinion, difficult to wear because they're so loud. And it's like, whoa, I don't know. I definitely think it's not dead though.
It'll never be dead. It'll fluctuate. It's heavily dependent on the economy. I mean, that's like saying our watch is going to be dead, or our any collectible, our trading card's going to be dead. It's never going to die. Not in our lifetimes, I don't think, unless stuff crazy changes. But there's always going to be nostalgia playing into a factor. There's always going to be collectability, limited stuff, rare. Like that's always going to be a factor. It's basically just comes down to what's currently coming out and how much expendable liquid cash you have. During
Yeah,
COVID, people were getting stimulus checks and people were not going outside. So people were online watching people like us review sneakers and buying sneakers and getting stuff on sneakers app. And it was a whole market. It flourished. Now people are back to reality. Times are tough. Now nobody has $500 laying around realistically and can just go
seriously.
buy a bunch of shoes and just have them sit. So it just fluctuates a lot on the economy and it ebb and flows. So, but I agree with what
Facts.
you said too.
Well, thank you.
Yeah, there you go.
You got one more, or is that it?
That's it. Let's call it
Cool.
there. Let's save the rest for the following weeks, and
Awesome.
we'll keep posting that thread on our story maybe once or twice a week, or once every 2 weeks or something.
Might
If you
as
want to keep putting
well.
questions in there. So
Yeah,
yeah,
it's
I like
fun
that.
to add
That's a good way to
to the
end.
end. Yep. Well, thank you everybody for listening and subscribe. Obviously, if you've made it this far and you're not subscribed, what are you even doing? But thank you everybody for
I know.
supporting us, and we'll catch you next week. Peace out.
Peace.